everyone, happy Tuesday. So today I'm going to be, I guess, showing a little bit of my homework. I'm not going to actually show any of the content. All of these time lapses are going to be like me just working. It's day 2 and I already have work to do, but so for the most part, it looks like a lot of this stuff is going to be kind of on our own time this semester. I've actually been doing quite a bit of work already. A full learning outcome done in my one class from this morning because we have to have it done by Thursday. So what we kind of do is are given time on our own for that for the most part, but it does look like there's some things we got to do like synchronously versus asynchronously. So that's going to be quite interesting. I'm going to show maybe about an hour or so of me working through some of these activities that I have to do for my sterile compounding prep course. So this is the course that we take before we actually go in person and do the sterile compounding. So there's a bunch of stuff that we have to learn. All of this stuff is actually new. Like, you have to have very specific setup and all of that in order to be able to do this. So very few of us will have had the chance to even do something like this. So there's a lot of information that needs to be learned. I actually wonder if some of this actually isn't going to be better taught the way it is rather than doing so much theory and then doing it in lab. It might be reinforced a little bit better having done it the other way just because of the way that I think the spatial repetition works. So like you see it multiple times and the brain goes, oh yeah, that's something I should have to memorize. But because we aren't actually seeing it in practice, I'm wondering how well it's going to stick and how much of this I'm going to have to like review come in person stuff. I think there's going to be a lot of reviewing. So I think my goal is going to be trying to pick out the parts that I can make into a summary and go, okay, this is the stuff that is relevant for when you're actually like needing to practice with it. But it's hard to kind of know that too because I'm not familiar enough with the topic to go, that seems important. Maybe I should like test this. Now, this course I'm working on now actually does have a midterm and a final exam, so that will help with the studying part of it. The other course that I had this morning does not, but I'm hoping that the way that they have it planned, it'll be better. But I also have a little bit more experience with non-sterile compounding because we do basic non-sterile compounding at work. It's not like everything is brand new like it is with the sterile compounding. Count how many times I say compounding in this video. That's going to be the theme of this semester, is basically compounding. Even math is like compounding. So I think everything is going to really wrap together nicely this semester. Our instructor is so sweet and sent an email to us of all of the activities and stuff yesterday that we needed to complete for tomorrow's class. This is so nice because I don't have to remember to write it down. I still feel like I will, but it's nice to be able to have something to compare it to even. Like, did I miss anything important? Am I missing anything important? Like, for the most part, this compounding stuff, there has been some overlap between the two courses so far. So that will hopefully help, like, with that particular information, like solidifying it because I'm seeing it so much. I'm just going to say it. The theme of this semester is compounding. And it's because it's the one big concept that we haven't touched on at all until now. And it's because you basically need to be in person for compounding. It's basically all technique and it's stuff that takes practice. As far as like the other stuff with compounding, so like doing certain things like determining the risk and what equipment you need, setting up like a formulary sheet and all of that. That's like the stuff that you need to learn how to find those resources in order to be able to do that. So that's kind of what we're learning how to do before we actually do it. If I hope that makes sense. It's kind of hard to explain. I would say the overall key takeaway with the compounding from this morning was, how do you determine when a compound is made? And that comes down to like a few different steps, basically. Like the biggest step is it available commercially? Is it something that your pharmacy is prepped to do? Do you have the resources to be able to do it? Is there a hazard level to it that makes it so that you cannot do it at your pharmacy? Like basic questions, but important steps. All right, everyone, that is it for today's work. I got everything done that I had on my list. It didn't take quite as long as what I thought. That included some math practice problems from lecture as well. All right, everyone. So I just wanted to show this quickly because I did change up a really big thing on my assignment tracker. You guys might have remembered that I had the color here in the previous vlog. I found a quicker way to do this, actually using the advantage of the spreadsheet. So what I did was I went to, so if you go to here, and then you go to view more cell actions, and then you go to, it's not going to show it, but conditional formatting, then it'll let you like go date is before or date is after. So what I did was I used March 1st as the date, or I guess, yeah, March 2nd as date before, and then I used March 1st as the date after so that I could get in my colors. And then that way, whenever I type in a date, it automatically color codes it and I don't have to do it manually because it was driving me crazy. That's the change I made. Was that, and I actually really like it. As soon as you get to the bottom though, like you'll notice that I have stuff grayed out and that's the completed stuff. So then it goes away, but at once it's done, it's not really important on what is actually like online versus in person. And this online versus in person is just really for me to keep track of everything up until the point where I'm in person, because then everything's in person, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna end off the vlog for this week. So I didn't really do much extra except for a math worksheet. And it was kind of interesting because this math worksheet had a bunch of like conversions that I haven't seen in over a year. So I was really struggling. So I'm going to have to go back and get some more practice with it. Although I'm hoping that they like do examples throughout the whole year to like kind of remind us of that. So symbols like ounces and drams and those kind of things is what I was really struggling with. So I just need to go back and practice with the way that the semester goes as they keep showing us the symbols and we just get used to it again. And what I may end up doing is actually recreating my formula sheet that I had, or like conversion sheet of what I had, and then using that as I need to, just to like get used to using it again. It's just really hard to remember because these conversions we don't use very much. Like pretty much in practice you only see metric stuff. You see MEQ a little bit too, which is milliequivalents for like certain minerals and stuff, but even those now, to help prevent errors, they're starting to put the metric on there as well. Now, the reason why they teach us it is because there are still doctors who do prescribe based upon the old things, but for the most part, you're not really going to see it. And even the older doctors, if they use like their EHR to make the prescriptions, it's probably not going to end up in ounces. It's going to end up in grams. So, but again, it's just something we have to know because it's a possibility. I did my second pre-lab that we're doing the lab on Monday for it. It's just a lot because it's like all new. I've been thinking about my content actually. So, I don't know if you guys have noticed. Usually, people who watch longer content or interested in longer content don't really like shorter content, and vice versa. So, I feel like I might have two different audiences here. But if you do watch both, what I may end up doing actually is doing a lot more short content. I'm enjoying it a lot. It gives me the ability to like make a video really quickly and it's in the moment, which is what I really like because that's kind of the way I live now. Like technically these vlogs are too, but like I enjoy the process actually quite a bit with making long form content, which is why I still do it. But it's like the short content is a lot of fun too. And I've been thinking actually about making a lot more shorter content and doing a lot more in the moment and whatever kind of comes to mind in the moment. One of the things I'm not doing that a lot of other creators do because they tend to focus on long content is making their long content into shorts. Mine doesn't work that way anymore because I'm like vlogging every day in the moment. Like it's not possible to put these longer vlogs into short content. It's just not possible. Like sometimes you can clip things out of things that you kind of want to have out there that is like a separate idea, but it's not really like the best for clipping my particular long videos. And to be honest, they don't do that great. A lot of my short videos are videos that you only find either here in short video, like here in shorts on YouTube or on social media platforms. So if you guys are kind of wanting to keep me up to date more regularly and kind of more in the moment, those are the places that you want to follow because these vlogs are obviously a week at a time. So when I even have the chance to make them, let me know if there's anything you want to talk about with regards to being gluten-free, migraines, IIH. I know a lot of people want updates on how I'm doing, but to be honest with you, I don't really have any updates. I'm still in remission. My Aimovig is still working perfectly. Knock on wood. If it started to not work well, it would be quite obvious because I wouldn't be able to continue in the program. If it got really bad, I would probably push through it at this point just because I am so close to the end and I've done a semester of being really, really sick, but you would know if things were turning in a negative way. I would also probably be talking about it in the short videos if that was the case as well. But yeah, no, things are great with regards to that. I do think I have to be a little bit more careful with the gluten-free stuff. So I think I am starting to get fairly sensitive now. I'm really strict with it, so I'm not really that surprised. But the cross-contamination stuff is really hard. Like, it's hard to the point now where I wish I would have gotten tested. I'll talk about this more in the short video that I make. But I really do wish I would have gone through the gluten-free testing. Number one, to be able to write off some of the expenses as well. I think that's probably it for this one. Thanks for joining me for this week. I'm hoping to get another regular video out next week, but we'll see how it goes. Please hit the subscribe button and like the video if you enjoyed the content and want to be notified of future uploads. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye, everyone.